Chapter 68. Snarl's jaw hung open, his eyes widened in shock. He hadn't even seen the young dragon move, but there he was, standing in front of him. Tremor glared at the alpha while his body radiated with energy. Behind him, Candace had her eyes squeezed tightly shut. When she didn't feel the sting of the wolf's blade, she cracked one eye open and gasped at the sight before her. Tremor had thrown himself in front of her and stood on his hind legs, allowing to stop the wolf's blow with his front paws. But yet the guardian's legs weren't strong enough for such a defensive move. Snarl pushed down the dragon's paws, but Tremor was determined to protect his dragonness. He angled his head to the side, catching Snarl's blade on the hooked horn that stuck out on the side of his head. "Tremor!" Candace shrieked in surprise. The other guardian roared. He leaped up and drug kicked the wolf in the chest, knocking him across the room. "Thanks for the delay." Tremor glanced as he got to his feet. "You gave me just enough time to draw the power I needed." Candace smiled. "What would you do without me?" Tremor glanced at her over his shoulder. "Let's hope I never find out." The dragons turned their attention back to Alpha as an angry howl rang in their ears. Snarl picked himself off the pile of rubble and glared at Tremor. "So you still have some fight left in you, do you?" "More than you know," Tremor growled. "When you put Kay in danger, there is no end to my power." He gave an earth-shaking roar and spread his wings in a full display of his power. "Then let's see how you fare well against someone of your own magnitude." Snarl sneered as energy began to shroud the room in an abnormal green glow. "You're not just going to be fighting me." Tremor shook his head. His energy began to spread, and Snarl's eyes grew wide as Gaia and Menace faced beside her brother. "You're going to be fighting both of us," twins chimed in unison. "I'm not afraid of you." Snarl lunged for Tremor and swung his blade. Tremor ducked and headbutted the wolf in the chest, sending him into the roof. Gaia leaped forward, turned to a ball of pure energy and slammed it into the alpha. The wolf bellowed as he rolled across the ground and caught himself before he could hit the wall again. Tremor and Gaia charged. The twins zigzagged in between each other, their energy crossing paths and glowing stronger than before. The wolf's eyes moved from one dragon to the other, unsure of who to strike first. Just as he was about to strike, Tremor clammed his jaw down on the wolf's arm, casting a piercing howl to echo down the halls. Tremor swung the wolf around by his arm into Gaia's tail attack. The alpha felt the wind rush out of him, and his ribs cracked from the blow, and he collapsed on his knees. More blood spurted from one of the stones that covered the puncture wound Candace had given him. Tremor reared his head back and fired an earth bullet, but Snarl was waiting for it. The wolf blocked the blast and deflected in Gaia's direction. The energy struck the dragon's chest and knocked her against the wall. "Gaia!" Tremor cried, but Snarl grabbed him around the neck and tail. The wolf lifted him up and drove his knee into Tremor's stomach. Tremor coughed hard and blood spattered across Snarl's chest. The wolf pulled him into his knee again before turning him upside down and crushing him between his knee and elbow. "Tremor!" Candace screamed. Beside her, Gaia got drifting glad at the wolf. "I won't let you take my brother's life!" She hit and charged Snarl head on. The alpha turned and flung her brother's body at her. Gaia anticipated when Tremor passed through her and hit the floor. "What?" The wolf's eyes grew wide and widened even more when he found an impact against the back of his head. Gaia anticipated from behind him and slammed her tail clamp to the wolf's skull. Snarl staggered forward and fell to his knee, causing another string of blood to spurt from the stone breaks on his leg. Tremor lifted his head and fired an earth bullet in hopes of catching the wolf off guard. Snarl turned one eye off and swept the attack away into Gaia again. "Tremor, you're not getting anywhere with that!" Candace shouted. "You're only hurting Gaia when you use the element of breath." "I'm fine." Gaia shook her friend as she got to her feet and moved over to lend her energy to her brother. Snarl watched in silence the two dragons ready for another charge. "Wait for it." Gaia's voice whispered in her brother's mind. The alpha narrowed his eyes at the two earth dragons suspiciously. All of a sudden, everything went red, then darkness took over Snor's vision. He shook his head trying to shake the blind feeling that he had been stricken with. "Now!" Gaia shouted in her brother's mind. The two dragons charged forward and Snor stiffened when he heard Tremor's claws scuff on the floor. Still blinded, the wolf lunged forward, arms spread and claws ready to turn into them. The twins sprang into the air and beat their wings once. Snor felt pressure clamp down on both his wrists. He was swung around twice before being released. The wolf howled as he was thrown against the metal doors. The guards on the outside jumped in surprise when a large stent burst outward. Tremor breathed heavy for a couple of seconds to begin to cough hard. His lungs felt like they were closing up, and the burning inside them hurt even worse. "Tremor, are you alright?" Candace asked, shaking her inner chain slightly. "We've almost beaten him, Tremor," Gaia whispered, placing a covering paw on his shoulder. "Just stay strong a little longer." "You should know me by now, sis," the other guy choked between cuffs. "I'm too stubborn to quit." "I know," Gaia smiled. but a few words of support never hurt anyone. You haven't beaten me yet, Nog growled as he struggled to get to his feet. The brace around his knee had been shattered, allowing his blood to flow freely. Streams of blood trickled from his eyes, nose, and mouth, soaking his dark gray fur. Snarls clenched his face so tight his knuckles turned white. The effort began to glow again. Tremor stepped in front of Kenneth's protector just in case the wolf tried anything. With an angry snarl, the pack leader dove for his blade. He cut the handle as he rose to his feet and hurled the blade at Gaia. The dragon dissolved again as the weapon just passed through her and dislodged itself into the wall. Tremor lunged for Snarl's throat, but the wolf was in a blind rage. The elf smacked Tremor to the floor before lifting him up and driving his knee into his back. Tremor screamed in pain as the pressure threatened to snap his spine in half. Snarl plunged his claws in Tremor's chest. The old dragon's screams grew louder as the wolf proceeded to dig his claws in deeper and deeper. "Let go of him!" Gaia shouted and lunged herself at Snarl's arm. She struck his hand, causing the wolf to drop her brother, but the hit didn't do more than distract him. Tremor was beginning to fade, and thus her own power was weakening. Snarl turned and grabbed the hand of his weapon that was soon embedded in the wall. He looked back at the other dragon on the floor that was making every attempt to get back on his feet. Kenneth's eyes widened as she realized what was about to happen. She struggled against the restraints even harder as Snarl tightened his grip on the handle. In a less desperate attempt to save her mate's life, Kenneth's body gave a massive inward heave. She yanked the ball up that held her tail and swung her tail, causing the chain to wrap around the alpha's arm as he wrenched his weapon free. Kenneth cringed when she felt the force of the swing stretch her spine out, causing several vertebrae to pop loudly. Snarl looked back in surprise at the eyes striking this. Kenneth smiled devilishly and twisted in her chains. The move twisted Snarl's wrist and he howled in pain and he fell on his back. The dragon kicked at the wolf's hands as he struggled to free his hand and weapon from the chains. When she kept kicking his hand away, Snarl swung a heavy fist into Kenneth's gut. The dragon choked when the air rushed out of her, temporarily immobilizing her. The alpha grabbed the chains and pulled his hand and blade free, shattering the chains that restrained Kenneth's deadly tail blade. In the flash, Kenneth was on his feet, ready to end the dragon's life. "Gaia!" Tremor as he got to his feet. The twins attacked in unison. Tremor struck the back of Snarl's knees, causing another buckle, while Gaia simultaneously sunk her tail into his chest. As Snarl fell back, he swung his blade at the Ice Guardians, hoping to connect the hit. Kenneth ducked and jagged blade passed just inches over her head. Snarl rolled and bounced across the floor, but landed on his feet. As he looked up, Tremor appeared in his field of vision and fired an earth bullet, shattering his weapon. The wolf grabbed him by the throat, but Gaia struck his humerus, numbing the wolf's arm. Snarl dropped Tremor, who landed on his feet and rolled back. The Earth Guardian dug down deep, and opened his jaws wide with a mighty roar, releasing the largest earth missile Kenneth had ever seen. Snarl blocked the attack with his one good arm. "I won't lose," Snarl bellowed. "I refuse to lose to a pathetic dragon like you." Tremor's eyes narrowed as he felt his energy being pushed against him. He dug his claws in the floor and braced against his opponent's force. "You can do it, Tremor," Gaia called as she merged with the spirit again. "I believe in you." "Yeah." Tremor nodded and released the loudest roar he could muster. Snarl howled as he felt the bones of his body begin to shake from the Guardian's immense power. The quake surged through his arm and spread throughout the rest of his body. The ferocity of Tremor's earth missile swept over him like an avalanche. The alpha was thrown against the wall, shattering every bone in his body before the earth missile hit, blowing a colossal hole in the wall and shaking the entire castle. The dust choked both Guardians' lungs and they both coughed hard, Tremor more than Candace. The Earth Guardian fell to his knees and struggled for air, but only succeeded in making the coughing worse. Gaia appeared next to Tremor and spread her wings, giving them a few powerful flaps. The energy blew the dust down the deep tunnel Tremor's attack had created, temporarily reliving her brother. "Thanks, sis." Tremor hacked and spattered more blood across the floor. "I told you, when you need me, I'll be there for you." Gaia smiled, trailing him. "Tremor!" Kenneth cried. The old dragon turned as he was struggling to free himself with the use of a tail blade. "Hang on, Candy, I got you." Tremor strode over to her, stuffing his calves before finding an earth cylinder chain and that dangled from the ceiling. The chain shattered and Tremor caught her before she could hit the ground. The earth dragon fell onto his back with his dragonness on top of him. The force of her falling chest caused another fit of cough under the dragon, but Candace paid it no mind. She scorned her way out of the chains and began smothering him with kisses. "Tremor!" She sobbed as tears streamed down her cheeks. "It's okay, Candy," Tremor wheezed, stroking her crest. "Everything is okay. I'm so sorry." She whipped and clutched into his chest. She could hear for herself how labored his breathing was. "Sorry for what?" Tremor craned his neck towards with a braced brow. "I'm sorry for what I said." I said that I hated you, but I don't. I love you, Tremor. I love you more than I have the words for right now. I love you, Cat. Candace didn't wait to hear him finish. She got and pressed her lips to hers as the hot, salty tears struck a town of muzzle across Tremor's face. Off to the side, Guy smiled at the sight before her. She could feel the love from her brother swell up beside her own spirit, and she sighed deeply. The sound caused the guardians to open their eyes and look up at her. Candace stopped off a Tremor, allowing him to get back on his feet. Oh, don't stop on my account, Gaia giggled. The guardians laughed and Candace's cheeks flushed. Thanks for the help, sis. Tremor smiled as he walked over to her. I couldn't have done it without you two. Gaia smiled. Thank you, Tremor. The other guardian cocked his head curiously. For what? Gaia thrust her head towards Candace. For keeping your promise. Candace's cheeks burned even more and Tremor joined her in embarrassment. But he recovered quickly and smiled at his twin. Anything for my sister. And I'm thankful you kept your promise to me. Candace purred, nursing her mate's neck with long, smooth horns. Gaia nodded in agreement. That's my brother Tremor for you. She giggled for a second, but then stopped when the room shook. You two should get moving. I think the others are going to need your help. Good idea. Candace nodded. She and Tremor started towards the iron doors. Tremor stopped and turned to look back at his sister. Rest in peace, Gaia. His eyes tears trickled down his cheek. I will. Gaia nodded. Though I'll still be around. The two guards watched as she began to march back with Tremor. By the way, Mom says hello. Tremor only choked as she vanished from sight. He felt her power swell up inside him and he took a deep breath. He coughed hard as he exhaled and Candace gave him a wordless stare. Are you okay? I'm fine, Tremor assured her. Just a little winded. As usual, the other dragon didn't realize the severity of his cough. Let's get out of here. Candace nodded with a determined smile. Stand back. Tremor stepped close to the door and took in a deep breath. The guards outside the door heard the thunderous roar and covered their ears as the heavy iron doors were blown from their hinges. The wolves barked and yelled in surprise as dust filled the dungeon. The dust suddenly turned to ice, and the yells of surprise quickly turned to cries of pain when the particles stung their eyes. A low growl echoed throughout the cell block. The wolves froze, not from fear but from a blast of dragon ice breath. We're clear! Candace called and stepped delicately between the frozen bodies. Let's move. I'm right behind you, sweetheart. Tremor chuckled, stifling another cough. Hey, wait! Get me out of here! A faint voice called. The guards stopped where they were and looked at each other. Who said that? Tremor and looked down around the lit chamber. Up here! The voice called again. The two dragons turned their eye up to see the sealed lantern with a glowing yellow dragonfly pressed against the glass staring down at them. Sparks? No, I'm the other dragonfly that hangs out with you guardians, Wallace. Pleased to meet you. Wow, they turned you into a lantern? Candace burst out laughing. You know, the longer you stay out, the longer I'm up here. Alright. Tremor sighed. We'll get you down. Candace? You got it. The ice dragon sped a single spike that shot through the glass bottom of the lantern. Sparks hugged the sides to avoid getting impaled in the process before slipping through the hole in the bottom. Boy, that was close. He wasn't brushed the back of his hand against his forehead. Does that happen often? Tremor inquired jokingly. More often than I like, Sparks grumbled. I guess the bad guys know a good thing when they see it. Candace chuckled. Yeah. Can we get going? Sparks demanded. Works for me. Tremor and I charged down the hall.